What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. And I first want to shout out the Prince, my beloved nephew. What's up, man? Appreciate you. I actually saw this picture on Facebook. I feel like maybe it was yesterday. Like, cause it was under where I was putting I was sharing my video to Facebook. I had no idea it was Colin Kaepernick. I read the caption, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And I was like, I love that. And then I went on. I had no idea I was looking at this dude. Like, none. Then I get a text from my nephew, the Prince, earlier today. What did your text say, man? What was the language? It was just real quick. He sent me the picture and said, Kaepernick just got a new Nike advertisement. I'll send you what it looks like. And then I see the picture. I'm like, I seen that picture. And I didn't even know it was him. I am coming out of my hole to speak about this, everybody, because this is a principal issue once again for me. My first question out the gate to white people, because that's the only people that have an issue with this, as usual. The only people that bitch about everything is them. And so I ask you now, why don't you get this outraged when a white cop shoots one of our people down in the street? How come that's not a bad person? Where's your firestorm over that we never see? You see, these are logical questions. And in my mind, they're rhetorical. And quite frankly, they're rhetorical to everyone listening because we know the answer. Why do you always need a boogeyman? Like, that's the worst person on the earth and nobody else. You see? Because what you're essentially doing, and all this code talk that you do, liberals and unpatriotic and un-American and all that, you're just calling us the N-word. That's what you're really doing. You're calling us niggas. And you don't like it when we don't agree with anything that you do. This is the truth. This is how we see it. And I speak for all of us. All. You know, I go back to Michael Vick. Oh, he was the worst person. People were giving up season tickets for Michael Vick. Really? He was the worst person that ever was born. We don't ever look at it in your daily crimes and ongoing genocide and oppression of humanity across the earth. But you have the luxury of having the time to find a single black boogeyman. You see, when the biggest devil that ever existed on the planet Earth is sitting in the White House, and you're cozy about that. You're cozy. You're cozy about it. Because just him alone doesn't compare to the righteous act of Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick didn't shoot anybody. He didn't rape anybody. He didn't call anybody out of their name. He didn't rape anybody. He didn't blow up anything. He didn't put up his middle finger. He didn't burn the flag. White people, you need to understand, we don't have the same relationship with this flag that you do because of you. Because of you. No African person should ever forget the police shootings and the reason why he was kneeling. No African person with melanated skin in this nation should ever respect, salute, or curtsy that damn flag. That's our reality, but that's also our right as human beings, not because we live in this country, because you don't give everybody their rights. My rights come from the divine who created me, who breathes life into me now, whom I will stand before on judgment on the great day and answer for everything that I've done in this lifetime. You are not God. And this country is not God. And that flag, we have every right to feel however we want to feel about it. You are the hypocrite. Why don't you raise the swastika flag and then bitch at Jews who won't salute it? Because this is the same thing. You would say, oh, that's a symbol of oppression and the Jews, and we just have to remember the Holocaust. Well, we are the biggest Holocaust that ever existed on planet Earth in all of civilization. And that American flag is our swastika. Hear me now. Hear me. That is our swastika. We don't stand for it. We don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't sing the national anthem. None of that stuff has to do with us. And as I speak to you now in 2018, the Constitution that white people wrote says I'm 3/5 of a human. Just on that, I shouldn't stand for that damn piece of crap. Are you kidding me? White people go out hunting for sport, killing everything on the planet, traveling to even to Africa, to be out on the plains to kill wild animals for sport. And that's fine. Michael Vick boxes dogs and he's the worst person? Oh, 'cause he's black. I'm sorry. I need to probably take a drink of my punch or something and just cool out, because I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. Then it was Michael Jackson, the most pious human being the world has ever seen as a public figure. But you need a boogeyman. Even after an all-white jury in an all-white county said nah on all 13 counts. Nah, not here. Not a single one was he convicted on. But you still needed a boogeyman. And your media still continued to say and bring this up. I even saw Diane Sawyer's lying ass sitting across from Britney Spears, and she mentioned Michael Jackson, and she said something positive about Michael. You still friends with him? You're still like, no, bitch, you don't tell me who my enemies are, 'cause you're the biggest enemy to humanity. For many thousands of years since you appeared from wherever you came from, you're not the arbiter to tell people who's bad. Do you understand this? Stop throwing the rock and hiding your hand. It's just racism. That's what it is. How dare this nigger not stand for our flag? Well, your numbers are dwindling. And in a very short time, you will be the minority in this country, as I suspect you already are. That's just my own personal suspicion. And you're not going to be able to tell anybody what to do about anything. Not that you can now. Bill Cosby. Forget what he did. The fact of it is, he's not the only human being that's ever done whatever he did. But he's black, and so he must be the worst person that ever lived, second only to Hitler and Stalin, according to you. OJ, you couldn't see the laws that you wrote made it impossible to convict that man. And you had the biggest racist known to humanity taking the Fifth Amendment privilege. But you ignore all of that for your selfish need for hate. And that's what we have going on here. Colin Kaepernick is an honorable man. I didn't know his name or whoever he was before all of this. I'm not a sports fan. I'm an intellectual. I wouldn't have been able to pick him out of a lineup. Couldn't do it. But unfortunately, he didn't give you something to really bitch about, because what should have happened is every single African person that plays any of these damn sports in this country should have shut you down. There would have gone all of your tailgate parties, all of your cookouts, all of your 50-inch flat screens to have the crew over for the big game. You see, all of our athletes that you worship and idolize, our LeBron Jameses, our LeBron Jameses, our Michael Jordans, our Kobe Bryants. The list is so full I can't even go on. I'll be here for 15 days. Our Tiger Woods, etc., etc., etc. And I say to so-called good white people that are out there, it's time for you to start crawling out of your damn hole. Because what it looks to us like right now is it's all of you. Because we don't see nobody in objection or protest to any of this stuff ever. So what are we to think? When there's a terrorist attack, I'm a Muslim. All we hear from white people is, well, moderate Muslims need to come out and denounce this. Fine. Well, you need to come out and denounce white racism. That's what you need to do. Because silence is complicity, even under the law of this land. Not just because I say so. Silence is complicity. And as Dr. King said, the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a time of moral crisis maintain their neutrality. Think he was talking about you. This is a problem. And as African people, we should be most disturbed and most suspicious of anybody who has anything negative to say about this man who did nothing that hurt anybody. And he's one individual. One. I'm going to show you video in here of some of these damn people and their reactions. This is racism, everybody. It's not in objection to Nike. It's not in objection to the flag. This is white racism. White people who think that America is the greatest place on earth. They believe this is their country. They ignore those mere 139 million native people that they massacred off from coast to coast, and now they claim this is their land. Because you're supposed to just wipe that out of history and forget that. That never happened. Don't look behind the curtain. Forget that. That's not there. We're on here right now. This is our land, and we want our country back. Don't focus on that 139 million people we murdered off. Forget those 400 treaties that we signed with them and then reneged on every single one of them because we're liars. Forget that. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. Just look at this American flag and look how patriotic we are, and this is our country and we want it back. You're the same people who, after Barack Obama had just finished raising his hand and saying, "So help me God," boom, 2 seconds later, all across the country, it was the white Tea Party. And what? You wanted your country back. From who? From black people. Just like Colin Kaepernick is a black man. Oh, we claim him as black, and he claims us. And that's a problem for you. Suddenly, he's the worst human being on the earth. And your vomit goes down to your young. I'm going to bring you guys a young kid to show you this is generational. This is in the DNA, as I've always believed and have always said, and what I always see. You see? It's not like the old fart dude from the 1940s sitting on the porch, with the striped shirt on, and he's like 5 minutes from death. No. It's him all the way down to that newborn. This is what we are dealing with. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, because you don't have a single cogent, legitimate charge against this man. And he's one dude on one team. But your reaction verifies and validates everything that I know, everything that I think, and even the shit I've suspected. That's what's really going on. This is Charlottesville. This is Dylan Roof. This is any picture of a lynching that we've seen from history. Do you understand? This is any footage of a Klan rally that we've seen. This is the same thing, everybody. The same hate. This is Emmett Till. This is Medgar Evers. This is Malcolm X. We as an African people have a right to have the proper response to our history and our current situation. And because you would get all in a bunch about a man kneeling for justice, just kneeling for justice, because you would get all in a bunch about that, you would never get in a bunch over the string of murders, not police shootings, not officer involved. Throw that shit out. White murder upon African people under the color of authority. But you weren't outraged about that. And then he kneels and now you're outraged. Where were you when Mike Brown's blood was running down the street for 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever it was? Where were you? Where was your outrage when we saw in HD Technicolor Eric Garner having the life choked out of him by a pack of savage-ass white racists? Where were you? Where was the outrage then when something was really happening? But a man taking his knee is enough to piss you off? In the name of justice? Really? What are we dealing with? What are we really dealing with this group of people? Again, my question is rhetorical. You won't believe the firestorm. Let's read this first article and we'll get into our first videos. Colin Kaepernick has a new deal with Nike, even without having, well, I didn't read the header. Nike inks new deal with Kaepernick, ex-NFL quarterback who started the anthem kneeling protests. All right. This is from the Christian perspective. Perspective. Well, that should be interesting. As it inked the deal with Nike, even without having a job in the NFL. Kaepernick's attorney, Mark Geragos. Oh, he's we know Mark Geragos, y'all. He's we know him. Anyways, Mark Geragos made the announcement on Twitter calling the former San Francisco 49er quarterback an all-American icon and crediting attorney Ben Measle, for getting the deal done. Kaepernick also posted a Nike ad featuring his face and wrote, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. Hashtag just do it." You see? I want to say also that you're furious. Like, you wanted this man, he took a knee and you wanted his life to be over. What kind of a savage are you? Like his life should be over? You know, if we started judging you and having the same reaction to you for all of the shit you've done to us for 400 years, it would be a bloody thing going on in this damn country. And sadly, if the shoe was on the other foot, that would be happening. But we are a peaceful people and always have been. But we are amongst savages, and this type of an event makes that very clear. At least to an intellectual, awake person who's paying attention like myself, who's not distracted. I'm of clear mind. Clear mind. You want this man's life destroyed for believing in something and doing all that he could to take a stand over what was right. That means you didn't give a damn about all those people that were being killed. And you were quick to come out and villainize Black Lives Matter. What are you? What are you? And again, I say to so-called good white people, where are you now? Where are you? If you're there. Kaepernick already had a deal with Nike that was set to expire. So he already had a deal. He already had a deal, everybody. But it was renegotiated into a multi-year deal to make him one of the faces of Nike's 30th anniversary of Just Do It campaign, according to a person familiar with the contract. The person spoke to the Associated Press on a condition of anonymity because Nike hasn't officially announced the contract. The source says Nike will feature Kaepernick on several platforms, including billboards, television commercials, and online ads. Nike also will create an apparel line for Kaepernick and contribute to his Know Your Rights charity. The deal puts Kaepernick in the top bracket of NFL players with Nike. The NFL and Nike extended their partnership in March to run through 2028. Nike provides all NFL teams with game day uniforms and sideline apparel that bears the swoosh logo. Last week, Colin scored a legal victory. Take that, racist. He scored a legal victory in his grievance against the NFL. Now I guess you're going to be pissed about that. What are you going to do? Start burning down courthouses? Are you going to start boycotting the Constitution or something? What have you got next up your sleeve? What's next? What other evil and hate do you have up your sleeve? Could we just get a preview on that? We just get just like a trailer or something? Can we get that? Won a grievance against the NFL and its 32 teams when an arbitrator denied the league's request to throw out his claim that owners conspired to keep him out of the league because of his protest of social justice. But you're the same people that would claim you love Dr. King. You don't love Dr. King. You love anybody who came along with that peace stuff to keep us off your ass. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anybody that spoke truth, that was telling black people what they should actually be doing, you villainized them. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's just do it. Colin contends the owners violated their collective bargaining agreement with players by conspiring to keep him off teams. His case hinges on whether owners worked together rather than decided individually to not sign him. A similar grievance is still pending by former 49ers teammate Eric Reed, a Pro Bowl safety who joined in the protest. On Friday night, Kaepernick and Reed, also now out of the league, were each given huge ovations when they were introduced and shown on the big screen during a match between Serena and Venus Williams at the U.S. Open. Did I mention we're also number 1 and 2 in the entire world in tennis? Did I mention that? Such a wealth of stars, I lose track. And why aren't you bitching about anybody else that kneeled? Why aren't you bitching about any of the owners that fake kneeled with their team? Because they thought they was going to lose their entire stable, quite frankly. That's another video. Not going to get into it. Why are you singling out him? Again, my question is rhetorical. I know the answer. I know what you are and what I'm dealing with. You understand? And again, the only people bitching about this is just like with the Farrakhan thing, is white people. No one else anywhere on the planet is bitching about this. That's the truth. That's the truth. On Friday night, Colin and Reed, also now out of the league, were each given huge. I just read that. Colin began a wave of protest by NFL players 2 seasons ago, kneeling during the national anthem to protest police brutality and racial inequality. The protests have grown into one of the most polarizing issues in sports. It's only polarizing from white people. That's it. We have to state the facts. It's not polarizing. It's not. It's just upsetting to white people. That's it. With Trump, the Orange Circus, loudly urging the league to suspend or fire players who demonstrate during the anthem. You know what? I wish my brothers would all just leave so you could see the empty void. Because you won't have anybody to replace us. We are the greatest athletes on the planet. If that weren't true, all the leagues wouldn't be African people. You don't get to bitch about ours, you know. Why don't you go deal with the dude that was inflating balls or something, or whatever he was doing? No backlash from that. Oh, that he's white. I'm sorry. Damn it, Jedi. Get your damn act together. Ugh. Meanwhile, the league and players union have wait, did I begin a wave? Okay. Meanwhile, the league and players union still haven't resolved whether players will be punished this season if they chose to kneel or demonstrate during the national anthem. Owners approved a policy requiring players to stand if they are on the sideline during the Star Spangled Banner, allowing them to stay off the field if they wish. Again, you don't get to tell me when I am the trophy. Without us, you don't have a game. You don't have a national anthem. You don't have nothing. So what African people need to do is start a campaign to put pressure on our brothers that are in these various sports and tell them to walk away. Walk away. You couldn't stand Kaepernick, that means you can't stand the rest of them either. That's the truth. You can't stand none of them. You just want them out there entertaining you for your entertainment. That's always been the case. Since 1619. But the League and the Union put that on hold, and we don't need to read anymore, and I'm over it. Let's get to our first video, you guys. Because this shit is just revealing is the word. Let's get to this. Alright, here's our first array of racists, everybody. And just let me remind you, in case there's somebody that just came to planet Earth, this man has not hurt anyone. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't punch anybody. He didn't slap anybody. He didn't kidnap anybody. He didn't blow anything up. He didn't drive a car into a crowd. He didn't drop, a bomb from a building. I mean, there was nothing that he did. Nothing. So we should be very, very astute and keen and not blink in the reactions that these white people are having. Pay very close attention and don't blink. See this now. By the way, when I was, I have to look at the videos to see how long they are and are they worth showing and all that stuff. I'm not a fashion connoisseur. I don't think I own anything by Nike. If I do, it's an accident. But I noticed that I don't see anything that looks expensive to me. You be the judge.
Well, there go the shoes.
Now, to me, those looks like some bullshit ass shoes. Like, you need to throw those away over Kaepernick or nothing. It don't matter. Like, that just looks like bullshit. I would never wear that. That's me.
I love these shoes, but I love my country more.
But he loves his country more. Think about that statement. I love these shoes, but I love my country more. What's he saying in that statement? You have an American citizen who simply kneeled during the damn fake-ass national anthem. But he loves his country more. So, my intellectual African brain superior says to me he'd rather throw his shoes away than to have any respect for a black man and the deaths and murders of African people by white police. Okay, we got it clear. Let's go on. I don't even know what that is. Again, nobody burned anything. When every single day we were being shot down in the streets, still are. No burning anything. No outrage. Nothing.
Buy Nike. I will never buy another thing of Nike.
Again, that's a woman's voice now. You see? I just tell you, it's man, woman, and goddamn child. And I'm proving that in this video. Now this is her ass.
Here
I am in Florida during a fucking tropical storm, and Nike done pissed me the fuck off.
He's this outraged. I remind the audience, Colin Kaepernick kneeled and tried to be respectful by getting with a military person who advised him on what's the best way and most respectful way to do it. That's all he did. Again, no murder, didn't blow anything up, didn't steal nothing from nobody. I have to keep reminding us of this as you see this psychotic savagery being expressed by these people. They wouldn't last 2 minutes as an African person in their own society. This pisses them off? Haha! We can show you a list of stuff to be pissed off about, homie. Recognize that. Look at this. And on grass even. You see? So where's the PETA people that, you know, the environment people and all of it? Because I'm outraged about that. He's burning the grass. I'm outraged. And all that stuff looks like trash. It looks old and ugly as shit. You should have been burned them damn things. I'm over it.
Burn, motherfuckers!
He's this worked up, everybody.
Tropical storm, standing out in the rain. Find out Nike hires Colin Kaepernick.
All of this, you see the vitriol he has for this man? Simply because he's a black man who won't recognize their racist institution and dared to make an action to defy it. This is what comes out. This is what's there.
For their Just Do It campaign. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to burn all my fucking Nikes. Been wearing nothing but Nikes for 37 motherfucking years.
Well, guess what? They got your 37 years worth of money already. So, who does this hurt? But just like Colin Kaepernick, they want to express their outrage, but they're burning shit and cussing out the world in a tropical storm, according to him. This man took a knee eloquently. I must remind you, you see, who's the savage? Again, my question is rhetorical. Write it down.
And I'll never wear another goddamn pair as long as I live. Go fuck yourselves. And Colin Kaepernick can go fuck himself too. Burn.
That nigger wouldn't get out there and perform for us. That's what my black ears hear.
Fucking burn. You like that shit, Nike?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
go.
can see the execs at Nike crying in their coffee now over this, everybody. I can just see it all now. I just see it. They're just so distraught over this.
Fuck yourselves. I've so had it with you liberal motherfuckers, I cannot wait.
Hear this now. Liberal, this is one of them words they use. They're really calling you the N-word. That's what it's really about. That's the new N-word, everybody, is liberal. Anybody that doesn't stand for white supremacy. And they'll even eat and devour their own. You see? Hear this. This is the most important part of this video.
For this motherfucking war to...
Wait. Go back, Jedi. I want to make sure you hear this.
I've so had it with you liberal motherfuckers, I cannot wait for this motherfucking war to kick off so we can fuck your sorry asses up.
He's talking to black people. He's using liberal to try and hide his obvious racist devil ass. But the eyes and the ears of the Jedi see and hear through all that facade. Do you understand?
Liberal ass motherfucking cocksuckers.
See there? He's this burned up over it. Not to mention the toxins he's releasing into the atmosphere. We won't get into that. I can't. Now, we had man, woman. Now let's go to the goddamn child. Now, this is their children. He's barely in puberty, if that. But hear this.
Hello, Dave Shire, and this is the Shire Show. So, probably wondering what this video is going to be about. Okay, anyways. So, boycott,
He's an idiot. He opens up saying, you're probably wondering what this video is going to be about. There was a title on the video. You see? They can't even see straight for their hate.
Nike, okay? You must boycott Nike. And here's why. So you remember that,
So already, he has no regard for the string of murders that we were seeing every day. No regard. You see? It don't end. 16-19, 2018.
He's a quarterback. He was the worst quarterback in the league. And then he kneeled during the national anthem. Remember?
They always go right past why he kneeled. Because they don't want to acknowledge that. Because they like when we're being shot down in the street. And how dare you protest it? How dare you protest your genocide that the United Nations has declared crimes against humanity? Go and look it up, haters. So he goes right past that, just like any racist would.
And then he kneeled during the national anthem. Remember that guy? I think it's Colin.
Remember that guy, and then he can't remember his name.
Kaepernick, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You go to do a whole video about the guy and you don't know his name? You see, this is what they're breeding, everybody. This is what they're breeding. And you're telling your children something completely different.
So, we know him just because he kneeled for the anthem. That's the only reason why he's well known. So, listen. Nike I'm going to make another video about this showing you the actual thing. But Nike made an ad using him. That guy was...
Look how he reacted. That guy had to fix glass and everything. As if he blew up a bus of senior citizens, everybody. As if he threw an old lady off the Grand Canyon. As if he punched somebody. Or anything you could think of. This is their reaction. Man, woman, and goddamn child. Huh? Stop the video when I lie.
Was kneeling during the national anthem. So this guy doesn't like America. He just not...
The unthinkable. How dare he? He can't believe somebody would kneel during the national anthem. But he's absolutely okay with the systematic murder of African people in the streets. And then white grand juries saying, we can't find anything here that was illegal. He's okay with that. That's your future police officer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Wow.
So this guy doesn't like America. He does not view himself as a patriotic American. And Nike is using him.
No African person needs to be patriotic in this bitch. I said it.
In their ad campaign. It's preposterous. So, for all the conservatives out there, for all the decent American-loving people out there.
American-loving people. Who love white supremacy and are willing to trample on the feelings and legitimate concerns of others. For all of you out there.
We must boycott Nike. So, that's it for this. And also, they like used child labor, so that's another reason. So.
Oh, they use child labor, but that didn't stop you from buying Nike before this black man. Because it was white people using child labor. You're okay with that. But a black man drawing attention to his murder and oppression of his people, that's a problem, everybody. We've got to get our damn priorities straight, black people. We don't know what's important.
I myself am guilty. I just was wearing these right now, Nike slides. So I myself is guilty. I'm now going to be an Adidas and Under Armour guy till they issue an apology for using Colin Kaepernick.
Until they issue an apology for using this man who's done nothing to anybody. I have to keep coming back to that. To help you understand the schizophrenic people that we are amongst.
But till then, I'm no longer a Nike guy. I really like Nike. It's such a shame. Even my dad likes Nike, kinda. He kinda likes the way they look. He doesn't wear them a lot, but he kinda likes them. He's doing research for a video right now. I'm not gonna give any of the details, because it's gonna be a really good one. So, that's it for this episode. Sorry this one wasn't as good quality. I just really want to make this super quickly.
We've seen enough of this cross burner. Let's move on. This one we're not going to watch all of. It's like a 7-minute clip. I just want you to get a feel of it, and then we'll be over it. Obviously, they are, in quotations, professionals and on the air. You see, so we're not going to get a whole lot out of them, but I'm bringing this because this is a whole segment. I don't know of anyone that when they get some kind of an endorsement that it's this much of it's even covered even by the media all like this. You understand?
I'm interested to know what Nike is paying Colin Kaepernick and what this deal entails, whether it's just this one campaign for Just Do It.
Because none of them wants to come off as the true racists that they are.
And the best guy to ask is our business insider. He knows all of this stuff. Darren Ravel joins us now on the show. Darren is Michael, Don, and Peter. How are you today?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Yo. Doing great. Do we know how much Nike's paying Colin Kaepernick?
I do not know.
They want to count his money now. They want to count the coin. Trying to be in his wallet.
I know that they've been paying him since...
3 grown white men on national television discussing the wallet of a black man. That's what we have here.
It's at least 2011. I know there's been a report that he's now going to have a signature shoe and there's going to be a whole merchandise line. That's not from my reporting. I do not believe he will have a signature shoe. I don't think they're going to make an overt business out of this. Not to say that this is not a business move and it's just a social move, but it is a business move. But I don't think it's going to be as overt as them, coming out with the Kaepernick shoe, that's ideal for kneeling or whatever. It's not going to happen.
Now, was it just around the 30?
The Kaepernick shoe that's ideal for kneeling. You saw that little slide in there. We're done with these assholes too. We're over it. Wow. It's time for African people to start teaching our children the truth about the environment in which they live. You understand? They need to know that they are in a forest of monsters, and that what they see in front of them is not what's really in front of them. Because we saw from that little four-eyed twit that this is clearly, and we know this already, but I brought him because it was just like we have him one on camera that we already know about. You see, as NFL offers measured response to Nike's Kaepernick ad, other reactions range from support to outraged. Nike's polarizing decision, let's just say Nike's decision that pissed off only white people to put a black man at the center of its latest ad campaign, has aggravated white employees, infuriated white people, and even affected the sneaker giant's stock. But publicly, at least the league is playing nice with its corporate partner. The National Football League believes in dialogue, understanding, and unity. This is a quote. Quote, the National Football League believes in dialogue, understanding, and unity. We embrace the role and responsibility of everyone involved with the game to promote meaningful, positive change in our communities. End quote. NFL Executive Vice President Joyce Moore, or Jocelyn Moore, said in a statement, quote, the social justice issues that Colin and other professional athletes have raised deserve our attention and action. So why don't you give Joyce a call, everybody, or Jocelyn, since you're that pissed off? You see, with the NFL, while the NFL issued a gentle statement, some league office staffers have expressed annoyance that a corporate partner would throw. But we've got to read it as it really is. While the NFL issued a gentle statement, white office staffers have expressed annoyance that a corporate partner would throw the national anthem controversy back into the news cycle only 4 days before the season's start. The Daily Caller reported that the Orange Circus said in an interview Tuesday, I think it's a terrible message. However, the Orange Circus continued, it is what this country is all about, that you have certain freedoms to do things that other people think you shouldn't do. But I personally am on a different side of it. So we have to decode what he said. The Orange Circus said, quote, it is what this country is all about, begrudgingly, that you have to have certain freedoms for black people, even though you really don't want them to have them, so that we don't just look like the out-and-out racists that we are, even if other people, only white people, think they shouldn't. But I personally am on a different side of it. I'm with the racists. Nike and the NFL have a deal in place that runs through 2028, with the company supplying game day uniforms and sideline apparel. We already read that in another. Pretty much want to burn my shoes, one current NFL white person told Fox. In 2018, the 2018 season begins on Thursday night when the Atlanta Falcons visit the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And I would like to know also, how would you feel, because this is our brother, if all the other brothers on the team say we're sick and tired of these racist ass white people and all their bullshit, if they've disrespected our brother, they feel the same way about us. We're out of here. Then what? Then what? The week leading up to the season's first weekend is usually filled with fantasy drafts, bold predictions, and anticipation. However, Nike announced on Monday that the jobless quarterback, known for his role in starting players' anthem protests, would be the face of a new ad campaign to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Just Do It slogan. Conservative strategist Chris Brown, a white racist, because conservative just means white racist, and doesn't like black people. Conservative strategist and racist Chris Barron told Fox News that Nike's decision to ruffle the feathers of white people is truly baffling move at a time when the NFL is desperately trying to move on from the anthem issue and focus on football. It's only a big deal because they've made it a big deal. Like I say, nobody else on the planet cares, and everybody else on the planet gets it. Nike chose to pour gasoline on the smoldering fire, and let's be completely honest, Nike isn't honoring Kaepernick. They're intentionally stoking the embers of divisive issues to try and sell shoes. Wow. In other words, they're white just like us. They can't be in the corner of this black ass person. The loser here is the NFL and its fans. Kaepernick began kneeling during the national. They're not fans. If you don't care about the social issues of the people out there playing and running up and down the goddamn field getting concussions for your bitch ass, you're not a fan. You're not a fan. He began kneeling during the national anthem 2016 preseason. We know this. Okay. Move it along, Jedi. I think this is likely to be the single most disastrous marketing decision in the history of the sport. No, it's not. Because when you go into the numbers, it is Africans who most consistently buy the product, unfortunately. And I would encourage my people to, that same amount of money that you're going to buy, that you're going to spend for the shoe, go and buy stock in fucking Nike. Not the shoe. The shoe gets worn down and it's over. Your stock rises. Damn. He opted out of his contract with the 49ers at the conclusion of the 2016 season. We don't need to be believing in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. Just do it. Post it on Twitter. Disgruntled white people immediately took to social media with their racist ass to post images of Nike merchandise being set on fire. The National Association of Police Organizations has condemned the company. Think about this. The National this is, I don't need to read anything else. We're done. The National Association of Police Organizations has condemned the company. And those are your fucking murderers. The Jedi have spoken.